Hello, everybody. So I am just doing a live and I'm going to show you something in just a moment. I'm going to let people come here first, and it's just a negative SEO attack that I want to educate people on so that you can either defend yourself on it or just be aware of it. So I'm going to share some information on that negative SEO attack and why this could potentially harm your website. So I'm just going to let people come in first. So I'm just going to give it another minute or so, and then I'm going to share my screen and show you what I have found from this negative SEO attack and how people are basically smashing the hell out of people's websites with toxic links that have no value and basically use up all your crawl budget. So quite a clever attack. And yeah, someone's doing it to me, and as I say, I don't mind that so much. It's always good to learn from it and learn how to defend yourself against it. So I will show you all of that in just a second. Let me know who's here anyway. It's just a off the cuff video, and yeah. Holly Starks, good to see you. Happy holidays. Elton Musa, hello. So I'm going to show Holly. Someone is slamming the shit out of my website, and I just want to show people what it's all about, how you can defend against it, and potentially what harm this type of attack is doing to my website. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now. So let's go for it. So what basically people are doing is sending toxic links to my website. Now, you'll be able to see that the target URL isn't even a URL that's on my website. If I click on that, it's going to come up with, that 404 page. But people are hammering that with links. And I've actually... I think, give me a second, I'll just tell you the exact number. Overview. Absolutely outrageous. 17,000 of them sent to my website. So basically, they're slamming fake URLs that are not on my website, and they're doing it in serious volume. Now, when you look at these links, they don't have any authority score. They are 100% toxic. They are horrendous links, and they come from domains like this. A lot of them are Asian websites, Chinese websites. Asia is all over the place there. And basically what they're doing is smashing my crawl budget, because these URLs, what they seem to be doing is making sure that those fake URLs on my website are actually getting indexed. So someone's force indexing them, and then they're slamming links to it. They're in the index, and it's using up a hell of a lot of my crawl budget, which is then going to stop me from being able to get the pages on my website crawled and indexed. So they're doing it in sheer volume, and it's quite a good trick. And yeah, it's something worth looking into. Go on to SEMrush or whatever other disavow tool that you want to do. It's a non-indexed domain name that's doing it. I'm not sure how much harm that will do. Some of them are indexed, some of them are not, but they are 100% toxic. They are somehow force indexing these URLs that they're creating on my website, and in turn killing my crawl budget. So be very, very aware of what's going on. I've got a ton more to do. I use SEMrush to do the disavow thing, so you can basically go through them all and basically cut them out and put them into a disavow file and then upload it to your search console. But you'll be able to see here, as I say, here is some of the ones that I've got. So these are not actual pages on my website. They're literally slamming that URL to this URL, getting it indexed. There is no authority score. they are 100% toxic, and this shit's actually getting indexed. So when I see this shit URL is getting indexed in my website somehow. So that is bad. It's a fairly bad attack on the website. We always knew that these kind of tricks were available, but we and I tend not to go out my way to try these things on people's websites. However, it is really important that if there's such a loophole within Google, that you make sure that that doesn't happen to you. Because if you've got 300 blog posts or 500 blog posts or whatever you've got, and someone's stealing 17,500 URLs out of your crawl budget, you are potentially going to have URLs dropping out of the index and stuff like that. And also potentially, people debate whether neg SEO is a thing. Of course, it's a thing. Anything that you can do to optimize, you can do it, in a negative way. And I've had other people on the show disclosing different tips and how you might negative SEO someone's website. And this is another way that you could potentially cause some disruption to someone's website. So just keep an eye out for it. There's not just SEMrush that allows you to do your auditing, and also bear in mind that sometimes SEMrush flags up URLs as potentially toxic, and sometimes they're not. They look at it in detail, and you can see, as I say, from the stuff that I showed, that clearly these URLs don't exist in my website. I would hope that Google were clever enough to not count them or whatever, but clearly they are. They're dropping into their index, and that's kind of worrying. So Google's not as clever as they may claim, and as a result, then we have to warn people to be careful of it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Just plodding away on Sunday evening, messing around with my website and checking stuff out, and boom, I nearly fell off the couch. And the strange thing is, me and I'm not going to name the person, but we were actually sitting talking about this last week, that it would potentially be a good neg SEO attack, and bang, it happens to me. And it's been happening for probably the last 10 days. So just keep an eye on your website. Obviously, I put my face out there in YouTube and whatnot, and people are going to potentially slam me more than maybe some other people who don't put themselves out there, but it is what it is, and that's what we're up against in this world. It's quite funny, quite crafty as well. So I like all these kind of things, and I like to share it. So we've got Happy Holidays, Kazi Farhan, Craig Mullins, Ryan Durrani, Leopard Bite Production. 90%. A lot of people have seen a lot of dips there, man. Hopefully you can get that recovered. Andreas, good to see you, mate. Thank you very much for coming. Craig Mullins, hey, where do you see bad links made to the different versions of your GMB pages? These are not GMB pages, Craig. These guys are just slamming them at fake URLs on my website. So it's yeah, it is what it is. Are you just using a 3.0? I'm going to disavow them, Holly, but yeah, I'm probably, the ones that are indexed, not all of them are indexed, but I'm not sure how to attack it, to 410 them or 301 redirect them. I'm probably going to just test, a couple of different ways out, but I would have probably 410 them, to be honest, just to get rid of them. But there's no authority coming from the links or anything, so I'm not sure it's worth doing a 301 redirect, or if that would potentially cause more harm or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I've not actually thought that far ahead yet. I just need to go through that disavow file and then figure out whether a 301 it or 410 it. But I'd be curious to know what you think's best, Holly, because I would disavow, get a plugin that redirects to another page. Interesting, Holly. Appreciate that advice. LinkedIn user, you've been listening to my podcast all day. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy it. Good to see you, Mark Flanagan. Bloody hell, it's busy. Everyone must be bored. Sunday night and people are on here. Can't use. I mean, I can, Elton, you know, as I say, there's a number of different ways we can deal with it. I just need to think or maybe test a couple of different ways to deal with some of it. Yeah, I'm not so sure what way I'm going to do it. But I appreciate the advice. Would it help to block the fake pages in robots.txt so they don't use the crawl budget? Yes, Darren, that's also another potential solution there. Link research tools, it's just mad, crazy expensive, but it's a great tool. I've got a guy, Rick Lomas. Normally when I get into these kind of situations, Rick Lomas sorts it for me. He's an expert in that kind of stuff, so I will probably speak to him and see what he can do. He uses link research tools anyway. It's a great tool, but for me, you know, just to pay, you know, whatever it is monthly, and I hardly ever use it. It's just not really worth my while. I'd rather just pay Rick a fee to clean it up and sort it out. If they're already indexed, I don't think blocking it will help. That's a good point, Holly. And Andres, yeah, I mean, of course, link research tools is the creme de la creme in this type of thing where this is concerned. As I say, I normally use Rick Lomas and they get him to sort that stuff out because he's got the tools and the knowledge. He does it day in, day out, and I can't be asked, really, is the truth. But yeah, but SEMrush is obviously a tool I use when I'm just, you know, doing random audits and stuff on my website and checking stuff out. But yeah, obviously I'll seek advice from a couple of people and then deal with it in whatever way I think is best. But it's a good trick. As I say, I'm not going to condone going out and doing that to people's websites, but it's a good trick to be aware of because I mean, how much damage it's causing, I'm not entirely sure. But when you see it on there, you've either got to sit and wait for that damage to happen, or you know, eventually one day wake up and you know your website's tanked for whatever reason. So good website maintenance is key. Disavow and have Google recrawl the link. Yeah, probably another good idea there, Craig. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I'll do to solve it. I just need to have a proper think about it and talk to a few different people, see if anyone's actually experienced this before. I mean, I've had neg SEO attacks and stuff like that, but this is a slightly different one with that weird little quirk of probably running it through something like Omega Indexer or whatever to make sure that URL gets indexed, or you know, there's some kind of glitch in Google or whatever. But it is what it is. But as I say, thought I would share it with you guys, just in case it happens to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Unless anyone's got any other questions on it, just let me know in the chat. I'll happily answer them because I'm not up to much. We're in lockdown. Yeah, as Clint, I'll give him a shout, and I've got a few others. I'll give a shout as well. You were also on that list, Holly. It's always good to get advice from a number of different people and then take action. Don't want to dive in too quick, but I am collating that disavow file after this. I'll just continue to get rid of all the garbage. I just thought I'd make this video and have a little break because my eyes were going cross-eyed and going through all of these, and horrible job. So that's why I give it to Rick Lomas. Just going through it all just makes my eyes hurt. So sometimes you can outsource this stuff. So Rick Lomas is a guy that's got link research tools and all that stuff, and does a great job of it, and helps people when they get penalties and partial penalties and everything else. So if you're ever in this situation, you can also give Rick Lomas a shout. But I don't see any questions coming in, guys, so I will let you all get back to it, because it's Sunday evening. You don't want to be hearing nonsense about SEO. I'm assuming I'm probably I'm going to assume you guys are all probably doing a bit of work, but not good to be working a Sunday night. I'm just bored. Tier 4 lockdown here in the UK, which means pretty much nothing's open. So I've actually got cabin fever. I normally enjoy the Christmas holidays, but have a bit of cabin fever, been stuck in, the weather's garbage, and fancy doing a bit of work. So there you go. But thank you everyone for joining, and hope you all had an amazing Christmas, and I will catch up with you guys again soon.